Hey, good evening. Welcome to this week's episode of Quiz Your Biz. As usual, we're going to spend a couple minutes giving people a chance to come online and getting our guest speaker, our guest interviewee on here as well. So we'll just give that a minute and I'll sit here and drink my tea whilst you guys come on. If you're there, say hello, please give us a wave, say hi and let us know that you're watching. If you're watching the replay, please type in #replay, let us know that you're there. And we're just waiting for Fidel to come on, which it doesn't look like he's here just yet, but I'm sure he will be. Hey Dan, it's good to see you. Fidel, add. Oh, here we go, I think you're here. Hey Fidel, you're here, fantastic. Let's add you in. It works. So is the exciting bit. It's either make or break at this stage. It'll either work or it just won't. Hopefully it'll work. Fidel, it says it's adding you. It's taking its time. Hey!
And I can do it horizontal as well.
It worked first time. That rarely happens.
It does really happen, doesn't it? Although...
And you've frozen. Oh dear. Hey guys, can you guys see Fidel? He's frozen my end. Got some good amount of viewers though, but no working Fidel. Yo Duncan, yo Andy Cat, aka Panda. Howdy doody.
I'm still there. Yes,
oh, you're back.
Yes.
We lost you for a minute.
Man, my phone is just freaking out right now.
Your what? Your phone?
Yeah. It's just like flashing up pages and stuff.
Oh no. Right. Let me just adjust this camera so comments in the way. Oh, we've lost you again. This is.
Boom, there we are.
There, we're back. Are we good?
We are good. We are good.
Hi guys. Hey Tita.
I'm just going to hold on to it.
You're a little bit quiet. You're quite. Although I don't seem to be able to turn up my media volume. Interesting. I think my phone is a bit quiet, that's all.
Can you hear me?
Not to worry. Okay. Are you sorted? What are you doing?
I don't know, mate. Oh, well, like I had it all sorted with my my like phone stand holder tripod thingy. It doesn't like doing horizontal.
Ah, okay.
So I'm making a little homemade one. Yay! It's us again. I enjoyed our last chat. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Yeah. It's been a while. Been quite a while.
Yeah, it has been. You've been busy. We both have.
Yes, which is good. Good busy. Oh, Duncan says he can hear us both around the same volume. That's perfect. I think it might be my phone that's being quiet rather than an issue with Fidel's technology. So if you're ready, what I'm going to do is I'll do our official introduction, Fidel, and then we will get straight into it.
Boom, go on then. Let's do it.
Awesome. Any questions along the way, guys, please do ask them. Okay. Hello and welcome to Quiz Your Biz, the bi-weekly show where we interview people to find out about them and their businesses and experiences. For top tips and inspiration on running your own business and to learn about other topics of interest, have a listen today while I, Rachel Graham, interview Fidel Beauhill about his Modern Man Club. At the end of this interview, he's going to be giving us his 3 top tips on being more manly, which I'm sure will be really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing these. To view any previous episodes or listen to the podcast, please visit quizyourbiz.com or search for Quiz Your Biz on your podcast app. Welcome.
Nice. I like that. Are you still reading out of a script?
Pardon?
Is that a little script you've got stuck up on the wall?
It is. It's on a spare computer screen in the corner. I haven't learned it off by heart yet, but it works for the podcast. Excellent. So how are you today, Fidel? How are things?
Man, I'm like, I'm awesome. I'm on fire at the moment. If I'm honest with you, everything is just going so well that my feet haven't touched the ground. So yeah, it's just all exciting. I'm just plowing forwards at such a rate. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's awesome. You don't get to hear that very often. That's really, really cool. Well done, you.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you to everybody that's kind of helped me. It's kind of taking me out of the blue, because obviously this is a relatively, although it's been sort of 18 months in the making, me sort of retraining and requalifying and putting all my stuff. I've actually only launched the business a few months ago, and
Yeah.
like I kind of initially I worried the business of me sort of coaching and helping people and running programs and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't expect such a response, to be fair, coming from being a will writer, and I it's been amazing. Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
humbled.
Wicked. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. Well done. Okay, so let's start off. For those of you that I know, we've got a lot of your fans, I think, are online, but for those that don't know you, want to start off by finding out a bit more about you and what you do. So tell us who you are, what you do, and tell us an interesting fact about yourself.
Oh, an interesting fact. So my name is Fidel Bad News Beauhill. I'm still keeping the bad news, so you can call me Coach Bad News now. I'm the Modern Man Coach. So I run a Facebook community called the Modern Man Club. It's a men-only community. It's just I can't tell you how much I love that place. It's my favorite place on the interwebs. It's a beautiful thing. And thanks to all the guys in there just contributing daily and making me laugh and cry and making it a safe place. My other business is the Modern Man Coach, so that's me. That's one-to-one coaching that I do. I started off with the idea of just coaching guys, but I've just taken on my second female client.
Oh wow!
Which is like yesterday said, oh, it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm quite specific with the women that I work with, but I've got I'm working with 2 women, and the results we're getting is fantastic. And there's a reason why they wanted to work with me, and I want to work with them. So yeah, that's cool. I run programs. We're about to put on some workshops and stuff, help guys get back in the game after divorce, separation, and or loss. And then I do a sort of Better Man program. We do 6 weeks of just getting people operating at their best. Really, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds really, really successful.
Oh, an interesting fact.
Oh yeah. Almost forgot that bit. He's hidden. He's hidden away.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of an interesting fact that I can actually share in public.
Anything that people don't know about you. There's not too dark. I was gonna say any deep dark secrets, but maybe not too dark.
That's the thing. I'm quite an open guy. I think most people know things about me. Like there isn't anything that I
any cool like hobbies or achievements that we don't know about?
So I box. I tell you what, I did do the other day. I did 100 press-ups.
Nice. In one go or in like a few blocks?
No. We did them in one go. So we did a 30-day press-up challenge in the Man Club last month, where we built ourselves up, going sort of day by day doing extra ones. And at the end, I had to go. I can't say that the quality was there towards the end, but nevertheless, we smashed that 100 press-ups. So that's something that nobody outside the Man Club knows. We don't talk about it. What goes on in there stays in there.
Perfect. That's awesome. So going back to the Modern Man Club and all the Modern Man coaching and all the stuff that you do, why did you start? Where did all this sort of come from?
So some of you will know that I used to be Britain's favourite will writer. I was involved with wills for 12 years. And like I set up my own business about 5 years ago, and I sort of started expressing myself. Where the character Bad News Beauhill came from. Obviously, I was doing the boxing, which is my ring name, but that fitted really nicely into what I was doing with the wills. I had a jacket with skull and crossbones on it, and I went around doing sort of talks about wills, big signs saying they're all going to die and all of that stuff.
You came quite well known for that within our networking community. You are really well known for it.
It set the bar really high. I haven't got a better catchphrase yet for the Man Club stuff. But so I just started speaking about that, and more people were asking me to do different kinds of talks, stuff that was a bit more inspirational or motivational or whatever. And I put a talk together called How to Die Happy, which was based on my sort of experience of taking thousands of will instructions, speaking to people about what's really important in their life. Lots of old people, lots of people before they pass away, and all that sort of stuff. So I put together a little list, and on that list was the truth. I think it came in at number 4 of the most important things in life. So there's 2 elements to that. One is sort of speaking the truth to other people, and because lies catch up with you at the end. And lots of times I'll speak to people sort of right at the end of their life, and they kind of regret stuff, and they want to get in touch with people that they've lied to and all that sort of stuff. But more importantly, it's about being truthful to yourself. So finding out who you are. I was doing a foresight down in Southampton, and I was doing the bit about the truth, and all of a sudden I had a little like a slideshow going on in the background. A picture of me and my mum came up, and a few months earlier I'd interviewed my mum on a Facebook Live when it first came out. My mum's a bit of a crazy character, and it was really interesting interviewing her because I'd never spoken to her like that before. And I asked her, and I said, Mum, if you've got one message to give to your granddaughters, what would it be? And she said, find out who you really are and live that life as soon as you can, because I waited too long. And I'd never put that into the talk before, but this picture came up and it reminded me of that conversation with my mum, and it summed up the point that I was trying to make. And so I said it, and I kind of like started, it was very passionate anyway, do you know what I mean? At the time, I was having hypnotherapy at the time. I just started, and kind of weird things happen to your mind. You become very receptive and very thoughtful. And it really hit home. I was on the train back from Southampton, and I was like, do you know what? This isn't you. You're not living your life. You're not living your truth. You're not Mr. Death. You're not Dr. Death. You're not we're all gonna die. And I felt I was getting painted into a corner with all of that stuff. And although I love doing the wheels and it was fun, I'm not Mr. Death. You know, I'm not. That's not me. I'm kind of like more than that, or not more, but just different. And then it kind of freaked me out. So I spent 3 days with a flip chart and a pen and paper and everything else like that, going, oh, who am I? Who am I? More importantly, what have I got to offer? What have I got to offer? What has my truth got to offer other people? My life experiences, what I've done so far, what have I got to help? How can I help? And that's what I came up with, was the modern man. I've been blessed to have been brought up by my mum, I was the youngest of 4 sons, but my mum's a feminist. So she was quite militant and everything else like that. So she kind of imparted to us the sort of how to treat and how to feel about women, but also she made us very confident in our own masculinity, not to be ashamed of it. Which turns out to be quite a rare thing, it seems, to getting that balance right, which is what we need as modern men. That's what we need. We need that confidence, and we need that ability to walk as men, as masculine men, but to also have genuine understanding and appreciation of women as true equals. Do you know what I mean? Different but equal. And I think that's something that I'm able to help some guys with, because I think we're lacking a lot of confidence in the men of our generation at the moment, which is causing all sorts of problems in marriages and relationships and society in general.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good. You're very captivating when you speak as well. I'm like hooked in and listening very intently. It's really, really cool. That's really, really awesome. While you were talking, Karen has asked me to ask you how many themed death shirts you have.
Yeah, I have got a few. I've got about 6. I've got about 6 death shirts and that jacket. That jacket. They're all in retirement, man. They're in retirement. They're in retirement at the moment. They're all packed away in a box, and I've kind of, that's just it. They've been consigned to history, man.
Oh, bless. Simon says you are a brilliant salesman, and I can see that from the way you speak. Joe says, can women nominate their men to work with Fidel? That's a good one.
Yeah, so I've got two of my clients have been actually paid for by their wife partners
Wow,
that work with me. So yes, they can. Is the short answer to
awesome.
that. I can't see the comments.
Can you not? I'll read them all for you. So Jessica has replied to Joe and said, I keep trying to nominate mine. He's a stubborn mule.
Good for him.
So Fidel,
Send him some money.
why should somebody use you rather than somebody else who coaches men in these kind of things?
So listen, it's all about personal fit. There are people for people. I think in the sort of men's coaching arena, what makes me different is the fact that I come from a position of prevention rather than cure, certainly with sort of mental health and stuff like that. I think there are lots of guys out there that are in the men's space that come from a pure mental ill health position, helping people that have been diagnosed suffering from depression and anxiety, that have been close to suicide and things like that, which is so badly needed. And a lot of those guys have been through those things, and that's what makes them experts in helping others that have been going through it or have been through it. What's different about me is that I've been close. I've had extremely difficult times in my life. I have sat in the darkness, but I've never been that far down there. And I think that's because I've had habits and a mindset that have helped bring me back. I call them my breadcrumbs. So I've got a set of sort of habits and actions and stuff like that and thought processes that I use, that when I can feel myself, when I can feel life getting that way, I bring myself back to the path. I follow my breadcrumbs. And so the idea of the Modern Man Club, and certainly as me as a coach and what we've got plans for the future, is to talk about men's mental health to people that haven't got down there yet, that aren't on medication, that haven't been, because listen, life is tough for us at the moment. It's full on. We're walking around in our conscious minds all the time. We're on our phones. We're bamboozled by information. We don't take time out to allow ourselves to think properly, to think about who we are, to plan our futures and to take decisive actions and stuff like that. We're literally living day to day. And we wake up and we think, well, how did we get here? And that's just tough. It's tough on our minds. But I think people are getting to the point where they think the only way out of that little circle is to maybe go all the way. Do you know what I mean? And slip down negative habits and actions that can lead to bad mental health. So I'm trying to intervene. I'm trying to teach guys and women how to live their lives in a way that that is aware of mental health, aware of their mental state, and showing them how to keep mentally healthy.
That's awesome. What an amazing approach. And that seems to be quite unique, because you don't see many where it's on the preventative path. It really is the kind of, the cure path. So there's not many that I think are in that position where they're working with people to avoid falling into that pit, falling into poor mental health. And I think that's really, really awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Me too.
Huh?
Me too. I'm excited about it.
Good. Rosie has fed back to us. She said, yeah, a lot of men don't know what they're supposed to do. So this comment was a few minutes ago. A lot of men don't know what they're supposed to do in relationships, and they don't know their role.
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds kind of tough. Everything's changed so much these days, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So, like, there's quite a specific thing that's going on at the moment in modern relationships, whereby we've got a generation of women who've been brought up to be sort of strong and independent, and sort of quite willful, and they've got choices and all of this thing. And that's been brilliant. And a lot of society and parents and everything else like that have spent a lot of time telling women that they're powerful and that they can do anything they like and all of this stuff. And it's brilliant and it's amazing. And we look around us and we've got all these beautiful, attractive women that are full of power and full of their own confidence. But what we haven't been doing that with men. And then what happens is you kind of walk into a relationship now, and there's guys getting it really wrong, and our kind of like, we'll be strutting and we'll do the stuff, and the women will find us attractive because we'll be walking around being the men, and then we'll get into the relationship, and slowly but surely the tables will turn, because the man's driver really will then become making their partner happy. And the mistake that's being made is that we will then say, we will then do what they tell us to do. All right. So women will start making all of the decisions, and men will go, okay, love, whatever makes you happy, we'll just do that. Which kind of can be cool, but after a few years of this, it detracts from the sexual chemistry. I think even in same-sex relationships, sexual chemistry is based on like a masculine and feminine energy, right? Whether it's same-sex, whether it's mixed sex, and whether that is the feminine energy comes from the guy and the masculine energy comes from the woman. But I don't think that way round is usually. If the relationship begins like that, that's cool. But most relationships don't. They start with the guy with masculine energy, woman with feminine energy, and if that role gets reversed over time, that dynamic, the sexual energy will go down, and someone will end up wandering off, and it's a big problem. It's a big problem because women end up then making all the decisions. They get tired of it. They're just like, oh my god, where? And then they turn around and they go, where did my man go? Where did my man go? And they'll look, and their man will have been completely sort of emasculated and be sort of has lost the talent for and decisive ability to make decisions and confidence in his ability to do that. Causes a problem. I'm seeing this a lot.
It's so confusing. Awesome. Yeah, no wonder it's so confusing for guys these days. We've got one more question, and then we'll blast through some comments. Looks like there's some interesting comments on there. Very quickly, Janine says, do you think it starts? I think this was talking about how, I think this question came up when you were talking about how sort of you managed to sort of be raised quite emotionally balanced and confident and stuff. I think that's what she's referring to. But do you think it starts with how mothers raise their boys?
I think it's important. Yeah. I think, that's how you view your mum is kind of gives you your benchmark for your relationship with women in the future. And your dad, listen, both parents have a role, but for sure, of course they do. But I think it's really important for mums to realize what they're doing with their sons, in terms of, are they mothering them, mollycoddling them, and basically emasculating them, or are they teaching them to be strong, confident men, but in the right way, in a positive way? Because I see the other flip side to that is that they wait on them hands and foot, and they give them confidence and they give them strength. But they do it in a kind of, I don't want to use the word toxic way, but they do it in a negative way, where it becomes sort of quite selfish and self-indulgent masculinity, and that's not what true masculinity is all about. True masculinity is about generosity, confidence, and sort of with humility,
Awesome. I can think of someone who's been mollycoddled like that, who could definitely benefit from your from being in your club, but we don't speak, so that's probably not going to happen. But I can say, as you were talking there, just a certain someone came to mind, big time. So next question. So if someone was to be watching right now and thinking, God, this Fidel guy, he sounds really awesome, he sounds really cool, I'd love to work with him. What exactly do you offer? In what ways could somebody work with you or get more from you?
So initially, I worked with on a 6-week sort of package basis. We most importantly we work to give you some definition in your life. So we start off looking at your values and eliciting your values. So what's really important in life for you. Most people have no idea. They'll say stuff that pleases other people, and it won't be truthful. So I've got a really good system that elicits your true values, what's important to you, and when you know that, you will be motivated in your actions. Secondly, we then create a clear and compelling vision for the future, what that looks like. Trademarked by Uncle Croz. Great believer in Croz. I've worked with him for years, developing a clear mental image. And once we know that, then we start planning goals, all right, and setting goals. But there's no point in setting goals unless you know what's important to you, and those goals are aligned with your values, and unless you have a clear and compelling vision of your future, and those goals are taking you towards that. All right. Once you've got those three things in place, I then use, I'm a qualified hypnotherapist, timeline therapist, and master practitioner in NLP. So we use those sort of techniques to remove the obstacles from your path to achieving your goals. If we pick one goal, we remove all the stuff that's stopping you from achieving that goal, you'll usually find that all the other goals will slot into place. Also included in that 6-week package is a half day mini breakthrough session using timeline therapy, which removes all of your negative emotions associated with previous experiences. So you will no longer feel unwarranted guilt, hurt, anger, and things like that. And that's just probably the most powerful thing you can do, because our unconscious mind is the thing that's driving all our decisions. And those decisions will be based on stuff we've previously experienced, which actually bears no relevance on what you're doing now. So if we can remove all of the, guilt is probably the most useless emotion to feel, but we all carry it around with us like a massive sack of crap over our shoulder, and it affects all the bloody decisions. It affects our ability to earn money. It affects our ability to be good lovers. It affects our ability to run great businesses. Just get rid of it. So yeah, that's how I work, and we've been having some amazing results so far.
That sounds amazing. That sounds like really, really good coaching. That sounds really wicked. So what would be, if someone was interested in that, what would be the best way for them to contact you right now?
Facebook, baby. Just ping me a PM, man. It's nice and easy. My Facebook is open. I'm easy to find. I'm the only Fidel on the interwebs without a beard. Yeah, just drop me a PM and we can have a chat. I've got space probably for about 2 more clients at the moment. Otherwise, then I'm gonna start a waiting list. How about that? How cool is that going to be?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, really good. And come and join the Modern Man Club, which is our Facebook community. That's free to join. It's a men only community. It's the Modern Man Club. Just type that into Facebook and come and join.
We're gonna get Dan Tilson is going to drop the link to that club any moment soon in the comments.
Dan loves it.
He's a very useful assistant for these things. So the link to the Modern Man Club will be dropped any moment for us, which is awesome. So yeah, it's coming. There you go. Dan Tilson has posted the link for us, which is brilliant. Thank you very much. Do you have a client journey that like a client success story maybe that you could tell us about? Anything in particular come to mind? Someone that you've helped?
I can't really, not at the moment.
You can't tell? Yeah,
it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult for me to do that, because like I said, I've got clients, and I think, yeah, if I spoke about them, it would be pretty obvious, at least to them, who we were talking about. So I'm still on my first lot of clients. Nearly finished their 6-week journey. So once they have, there will be testimonials to be shared with the information that they're happy to share about their experience. But yeah, the results have made me quite emotional.
How about if I were able to ask it in a more generic way, what's the most common thing that you help people with? Could you answer me that?
It's confidence. That's the bottom line. Like I said, I'm also doing my personal trainer qualifications as well. So kind of like working with me is about sort of it's quite a holistic approach. So generally, that confidence spreads into your health, your ability to make money, and most importantly in your relationships. I would say. So whether I'm working with single guys that are looking to get back out into the dating scene, they're going to do that. They're doing that better and more confidently, and being able to express themselves and speak to women. And guys that are married and in a relationship, the effects that that's having in marriages has been pretty remarkable, because the way when we change our behavior, the people around us change theirs as well in reaction to it. We don't have to go around changing people. We just have to change the way we treat them and the way that we speak to them. and it's amazing that the response that you'll get when you start doing that with more self-confidence. So yeah, that's probably the biggest effect, I would say. People have better sex, let's put it that way.
Perfect. Joe Carter has just asked, where did you learn your trade? Do you have qualifications, or is it just through being successful and through life experience?
Yeah, so all of that stuff, really. Yeah, like I said, this tomorrow morning I'm getting up to do the final part of my NLP, hypnotherapy and timeline practitioner, master practitioner level. So I'm already at coach level, and I'm literally I've been studying for the last 3 or 4 months to do the master prac, and that finishes on next Tuesday, and I'll get my certificates for that. So yeah,
Awesome.
those are those qualifications. I've done my level 2 gym instructor stuff, and I'll have my level 3 PT qualifications in January. But yeah, I've been training in the gyms for 6-7 years non-stop, and I've been living my life a lot longer than that.
So it sounds like a good mixture of official qualifications and life
Yeah,
experience, which I think you can't really get better than that if you can combine the two. It's something
correct.
really, really powerful. Awesome. Okay. So you found out a lot about what you actually do and how you help people. Now, I know we often get a lot of business owners watching these live streams, and we like to inspire them a little bit as well in terms of the business journey. So we'd love to hear about your business journey and such so far. So I'd like to start off by asking you, what does success, whether we mean business or life or in terms of helping people, whatever way you take the question, what does success mean to you?
Wow, that's
Good
a big
question.
question, isn't it? It is a big question. So success has got to be based upon the effects you have on your clients and people that interact with you. If you are in a position where, I mean, the Wills did that to a certain extent, but unfortunately, nobody ever knew how good I was at my job until they died.
Yeah.
Like they never were there around to say thanks. Um, but yeah, so for me, success on this is going to be about, listen, just affecting people on an international level. That's where I'm going with this, and I won't
Wow,
see it as a success until I do that.
that's awesome. That sounds very exciting. Um, what advice, so as a business owner, what advice would you give yourself when you were first starting out?
Oh wow, it's not your money. Do you know what I mean? It's just not all your money. So I've had yeah, I've had some painful financial experiences. I've lived in a millionaire's lifestyle in Spain. I had €1 million villa and a brand new S class and a brand new convertible BMW on the driveway. You know, just ridiculous lifestyles. On a few occasions, I've been very, 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 very wealthy, and I've lost it all twice, and then I'd nearly lost it all again. About in 2016, I ended up in hospital after having a panic attack. I was the fittest I've ever been, and I basically, there was some stuff going on with the business. I tried to grow it too quickly, took on loads of overheads, loads of staff, and didn't manage the finances as well and the marketing and stuff like that. Anyway, and I didn't tell anybody. As a man, sort of money is quite intrinsic to your masculinity, and so even someone as aware as me and with as many friends as I had and as many family members as I had, I still didn't feel like I could talk to people about the fact that I was going through this.
Yeah,
So as a business, a general business tip, just, man, it's all about the money. It is all about the money, and don't let anybody tell you any bloody different, right? Business is about making money. The customers and everything else like that is all part of that. But unless you are financially viable and unless you're managing your money correctly and you're making sure that you're paying your taxes and paying all your bills and everything else like that, your business will fold and you will not be able to help anybody. So just focus on the money, make sure that the columns all add up at the end of the day, get yourself a decent account, and it's not all your money. Pay your tax.
oh, that's brilliant. So one thing that I think is good for, especially for new business owners to hear, especially in their first couple of years of business is about mistakes. We all make mistakes in business, don't we? And I think it can be inspiring to learn from other people's. So what would you say has been your biggest mistake? I think it probably links in a lot to your previous answer, but what's
Yeah, it
been
does.
your biggest mistake that you've made in business?
Yeah, that is it. It is it. It is about the money. I think. Well, leading on from that is I think we forget why we're in business. I want to expand on that point a little bit. And there's lots of talk, and you see it on Facebook groups and Facebook communities and in networking things and at networking events, and everybody goes, oh, it's all about the passion, it's all about the service. No, listen, a business is a commercial enterprise, right? If you think about all of that other stuff, then go and work for a charity. Right, you know, work in Tesco's in the evening and spend 3 days a week working in a charity. If you want to run a business, it is a commercial enterprise. If you want your business to, if you believe in it passionately enough, and you believe in how many people you want to help, okay, that's all cool, but you have to do that in a financially viable way. Otherwise, you won't touch anybody. You won't touch anybody. You'll be working in a little hobby business for the rest of your life. So it's all about the money.
Cool. It's quite a hard hitting truth, but it's right. You're true. It's true. You're right. Yeah, awesome. So, what's the biggest challenge you've had to face so far? Oh, tough one.
Yeah. I guess. Well, I thought it was. This is the thing about challenges, isn't it? They're usually much bigger before you actually climb over them. So my what I thought was going to be my biggest challenge was sort of almost reinventing myself, or not. It was basically taking the mask off. And I thought that would be a challenge. I thought it was going to be huge, and I worried about it for months and months and months. How was I going to maintain my credibility or get people to believe in me after I'd built this character and built this business doing one thing? How was I going to be able to step forward as something that the outside world must see it? I didn't see it as being anything different. I just saw it as an extension. That's how it feels. But I thought from the outside world, people were going to really struggle with believing me. And that's the challenge was in my head. It was a big challenge to overcome in my head. When I just, as soon as you make a decision, I just made the decision. I changed. I tell you, I literally, I've been caught in, I'm in an RN for months and months and months. And then one day I just woke up in the morning. This is again thanks to Cross Crosley, and I just changed everything. I changed all my social media headlines, my LinkedIn profile, my Facebook profile, and this is me now. This is it. And literally, like the next day, I had my first client.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really, really cool. It sounds like it was really, really exciting for you.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So challenges are all in your brain, and you make them bigger than they really are.
Yeah, that's true. We definitely do see them as bigger than they are. And then once you're kind of over it, like you said, you look back and you go, oh, that wasn't so bad. Awesome. Okay. So we're coming to the end of the question, to the end of the questions now. So going back to sort of what you do in terms of sort of helping men and stuff, I'm really looking forward to hearing this. We would love to hear your 3 top tips now around, was it being more manly? So tell us what you got.
Yeah. Okay, number 1, drink more water.
Yeah.
Drink more water. Listen, it's just good for everything. It's good for your weight. It is good for your health. It is good for your looks. It is good for your skin. It gives you more energy, more vibrance, more life. Yeah. And to be a masculine man, you need to be full of vigor and life. Yeah. You need to be full of confidence and positive energy. And water is the simplest way to do that. So work your way upwards and get up to 3 liters a day, and your life will be better. There isn't one, if there's just one thing you can do to improve your life, it is drink more water. I'm not the only one that will tell you that.
That's beautiful. I love that. Brilliant tip. Thank you.
Number 2, again on a physical front, I think, is do press-ups. Press-ups is probably the best exercise for men to do. simply because it just makes you feel so good. So wake up in the morning and do as many press-ups as you can in one go straight away, because it gives you guns and it pumps up your chest, and it will just make you start the day walking around like feeling manly. It just fires up all those great manly sort of muscles, and brings out that confident energy in you. So yeah, do press-ups. Press-ups are good. And then that leads on to other things. It makes you feel fit and strong, and confident, and it makes your chest look good, which is brilliant. Best exercise for men ever, press-ups. And number 3, practice being decisive. Okay, take back the decision-making role in your life. Okay, start with small things, but practice being decisive. Stop being like, I don't know, no, you choose. That's like the least manly thing you can do. So be decisive. Don't be bossy. Don't be like controlling or anything else like that. But being decisive and having a clear idea of what you want, when you want it, and where it's going to lead you to is really, 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 really important. And when you start doing that, and you start taking control of your life, even on the small little aspect of it, by being decisive and making decisions and owning your decisions, whether they're right or wrong, whether they work or not, you will grow in confidence, and your life start moving in a direction that you want it to.
That's awesome. Those are some great top tips. Thank you. Brilliant. So coming to the end of the interview now, is there anything else you wanted to add? Any final words or anything you wanted to drop in there? Final words of wisdom?
No, those are good. Those 3 were good words of wisdom. I'm quite pleased with them.
They were fantastic. No, they were really good. I love the drinking more water one especially. It's not what I expected you to say, but it's fantastic advice. Rosie says great tips, love them. Oh, Nicola Knight says, I think you did something really brave when you moved from one business to another. She says, I speak to so many who want to do something different but are scared of the change. Yeah, it sounds like you kind of really big bold step, which is awesome. Yeah. So it's very, very inspirational. You're certainly someone who's worth following and worth listening to, because you know what you're talking about.
Thank you. Glad someone thinks so.
Dan Tilson has just said, do you still do the will stuff at all, or have you left all that completely now?
Yeah, so I do. You know, I can't. It's not like I own a sweet shop and I can just sort of pull the shutters down and walk away from the shop. So obviously I've got about 400 or 500 clients that are in my will bank. So yeah, I still offer services to them. You know, I've spent 12 years building a reputation. Again, you know, business does still come through. I'm just not I'm not marketing it or trying to grow that area of the business. So yeah, I just keep it. It's ticking over in the background. It's not going anywhere. My clients are still being serviced. The business is still running, but it's not something that I'm talking about or marketing anymore.
Perfect. Cool. Thank you very much. So Dan says, are you accepting new clients if they come to you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I am accepting new clients. Like I said, I've got got probably room for 2 or 3 more at the moment, but the first lot of clients are coming towards the end of their 6 weeks. So yeah, go on the waiting list and start in a couple of weeks. If anybody else wants to come on board with me and change their lives.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. I love that the fact that you're nearly full. Dan also says, what happens after the 6 weeks then?
What happens after the 6 weeks? Well, I will be doing ongoing stuff with clients that I think need it, that are going through sort of specific changes, which is happening with a few of them. So we'll be moving on to sort of monthly ongoing stuff at that point, but it depends what the purpose was of them doing. Quite often the 6 weeks will be enough, because it's just so impactful that and instilling you. The idea is that we instill you with confidence. I'm into making people sort of independent, not codependent. You know what I mean? On me and my coaching. The idea is to give you the confidence to walk on your own, for sure. But there are clients who are going through a sort of longer process that I'll be helping on a more of an ongoing basis, because they need it.
Awesome. Cool. Perfect. So I think that's the end of our questions. So I think that's it. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. I find you a very captivating speaker. Get really hooked in when you start talking, which is fantastic. Thank you.
I'm after doing more speaking. If anybody does want me to come along and speak, I've got some amazing new material. So yeah, I'm really looking to get out and about more and get on stage and deliver some more talks around the country. So if anybody wants me to come and speak at their event, let me know. I'm more than willing.
That's cool. So Facebook is the best way to contact you, yeah?
Yeah. Or website www.modernman.org.uk. Email me at fidel@modernman.org.uk.
Fantastic. Dan will drop that link in if he's able to type quick enough for us. There we go, modernman.org.uk. Well, thank you so much, Fidel, for joining us on this edition of Quiz Your Biz. For you regular watchers, please tune in on Friday for our next episode. The interviewer and interviewee are still to be confirmed, but it will be taking place this Friday. And remember, for all editions and to find out more, please visit quizyourbiz.com. That's it from us. Good night. Thank you so much, Fidel.
Good night. Thanks, Rachel. Awesome to chat to you again.
All right.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.